Nashat Abu Ammar received an urgent call from his terrified wife before daybreak on July 25th, telling him the IS militants were at the front door trying to break in their house. He was having a night shift at a hospital in a nearby town outside his village of Shebki in the eastern countryside of Sweida province. Shocked by the call, he rushed to co-workers fumbling for a ride back home to defend his wife, his 75-year-old mother, and 3 children, the oldest of whom is an 11-year-old boy. Upon reaching the outskirts of the village, the man received a gunshot at his back by one of the IS militants who were sealing off Shebki. His friends rushed him to the hospital, but his wife kept calling him, asking why he hadn't shown up, as the attackers were breaking into the house. Ammar couldn't tell her he was shot, which would make her feel much worse, but that wound in the back is tormenting him with guilt, as he said he'd rather die defending his family than being treated at the hospital. Later on, he learned that his family were taken hostage by the IS militants, which attacked Shebki and 4 other towns in the eastern countryside of Sweida on July 25th, of which the first massive attack was coupled with suicide bombings inside Sweida, leaving over 260 people killed during the whole attack.
قالت لي في إطلاق نار نحو البيت بكثافة غزيرة. قلت تأملت إني وصل لعندهم بس ما قدرت، لأن كانت رصاصة الغدر من هذول التنظيم اللئيم واصلة بظهري، وتصوبت بأول البلدي لأنهم مسكرين مداخل البلدي عن جميع الجهات. تفاجأت بأنه مخطوفي الأسرة كاملة من أطفال وزوجتي وأمي عمرها 75 عام مريضة قلب، جروها لشرق القرية وبعد ذلك قتلوها. تم قتل أمي.
In Shebki, a small village of 200 residents, most of the people there are relatives. When the militants attacked, they kidnapped people whose men were either out for night jobs or out of the country. The attackers got the information of these houses from the Bedouins who used to frequent the village. Other men confronted the attackers as most of them held up rifles and started defending themselves. The IS militants kidnapped over 30 people when they retreated as a result of the local resistance and the army backup, during which 60 people were killed in the village. The militants later negotiated the lives of the hostages in exchange for the Syrian army to allow the besieged IS militants in Daraa province to leave. The 19-year-old Nashat Abu Ammar was killed by IS, marking the first hostage to be slain. Muhannad's father told Xinhua that he had suffered from 2 shocks. The first was the IS attack, and the second is when he received a video showing his son being killed.
نحن الحقيقة أنا كان الصاعقة الأولى اللي بادرت لي إنه من وقت اللي سمعت إنه داعش هاجم الضياع ومثلوا طبعا بالتبشيع بأبشع صورة بقتل ابني مهند. للأسف حبوا يقتلوا كل شيء، يعني لأنه هن جهلة وظلاميين، يقتلوا كل شيء بنادي بالعلم والتقدم لهالبلد. للأسف
Shebki is now almost empty of women, as the men sent them after the IS attack to Sweida for safety. The men of the village, along with other volunteers, are now patrolling the village and their land in anticipation to another IS attack, even though the IS militants were pushed way back and are now besieged by the army. The families of the kidnapped people called on the international community and humanitarian organizations to help in securing the release of their families from the grip of IS. Activists said that negotiations between the Syrian side and the IS under a Russian mediation haven't yet resulted in the release of the kidnapped people, but Shebki's residents said they have faith in the Syrian leadership to secure the release of their families.